Compared to making games for the N64, PS1 games were relatively cheap to make. Because of this, companies were more willing to take risks on experimental games. This led to an explosion of new genres and series that are still popular today. But for every Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil, you would also get some more, artistic? Yes, artistic. You would get some more artistic games as well. And thanks to the hard work of passionate fans, we in the West can now enjoy some of these more unique experiences. Once again, translators, you rock. Hey there, this is Megablade J, and today I will be reviewing Planet Laika for the PS1. Planet Laika is a 3D adventure game with some RPG elements. It was made by Japanese companies, and I know I'm gonna say these names wrong, Quintet and ZQ, and was published by Enix for the PS1 on February of 1997. Quintet are best known for their RPGs Arcriser, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma. ZQ, on the other hand, are not well known out west. In Japan, they're best known for the PS1 cult classic Kowloon's Gate. Once again, don't know how to say that right. From what I understand, Planet Laika is kind of a spiritual sequel, and some of the characters even share the same name with Gate. So, the story. Oh boy. Where do I begin? Planet Laika takes place in an alternate reality where Martians exist. To ensure peace between the two worlds, humans willingly gave up their faces to the Martians. Yes, their literal faces. But somehow our faces contained our evil, and when the Martians put them on, it drove them insane and killed off their entire race. Also, somehow giving up our faces turned everyone into furries. I'm not joking. Like, everyone in this game is some sort of dog person. It's never fully explained, but from what I understand, I think this is like a reference to the real life Laika, who was like the first Russian dog in space, I think. Speaking of which, the main character's name is also Laika. He's a cosmonaut, which, from what I could tell, was a Russian astronaut. As the story begins, he and his team are sent on a mission to Mars. A colony was set up after the Martians died, but things have not gone according to plan. It seems that when the Martians died, all of their negative emotions manifested as a giant purple cloud known as Evil Mind. When inhaled, Evil Mind will cause realistic hallucinations, involving a person's negative emotions and most painful memories. For example, you may relive the time you pooped your pants in the school play, or be forced to see your parents being repeatedly murdered. Be exposed to it enough, and it will cause you to go insane. A team was sent in before you to check on the colonies, but they disappeared soon after landing. It's now you and your team's job to go to the colony, search for the previous team, and figure out the source of Evil Mind. Yeah, it's a bit to take in, but believe it or not, the story actually does get crazier from there. Now, I won't spoil anything, but the entire game feels like a big fever dream, and it can go into some crazy and some surprisingly dark directions. It's classic Japanese what the fuckness. If you think about it too hard, your head's gonna explode. This is just one of those games where it's best to just turn your brain off and enjoy the crazy ride. Now, while the setup may seem like it's a Resident Evil clone, it's more of a 3D adventure than a survival horror. The main gameplay is exploring your surroundings, solving basic puzzles, finding items, and talking to NPCs to advance the story. Typical adventure game stuff. What makes this one different is the memorable and slightly deranged cast of characters. From hippies trying to get high on radio waves, a psychic poodle in a skin-tight bodysuit, or whatever the hell these things are, you'll run into a variety of intriguing characters. You never know what bizarre thing they'll do or say next, and I was always looking forward to meeting new characters. It was also fun learning about their motivations and backstory, with some being much darker than others. How you solve puzzles in this game is also pretty unique. While Laika may be your typical silent protagonist, he's pretty special in that he has multiple personalities. As you talk to people, you absorb some of their evil. There are 3 types: red, blue, and yellow, each representing one of your personalities. When you have enough evil, you can switch to a new personality. First, you have Ernest. He's grumpy, quick to anger, and is the strong one of the group. He can use his strength to move heavy objects and punch free items stuck in walls. Then we have Spacer. He's the smart one. He can figure out puzzles and can see Martian eyes, old Martian tech that opens hidden doors. Lastly, we have Yolanda. She's the most level-headed of the trio, and is often the voice of reason when the other two start to argue. She can see invisible messages that can give either hints or lore. Experimenting and switching between the 3 personalities is the key to beating puzzles and progressing the story. Like the rest of the game, the combat is also extremely unique. When you're playing as one of your personalities, every once in a while, an enemy known as a face will appear. Get too close and a fight will begin. In battle, you don't have direct control over your character. Instead, a small ball called a spirit orb will appear before you. This orb will automatically move up and down. By pushing the X button, you can slowly move it forward. Pushing O will make it automatically jump back to you. The enemy face will fire their own spirit orbs at you. To fight back, you need to use your orb to hit theirs back at them. It kinda reminds me of a more psychedelic version of Pong. While simple, it's not as easy as it looks. Your return shots can be blocked by other incoming shots. And as the game progresses, enemies will use bigger shots and more complex, harder to counter patterns. While unique, it was a little frustrating not having full control over my own soul ball. You do get used to it eventually, and once you do, it can be kind of fun. Fortunately, combat doesn't happen often, and besides for bosses, the bulk of fights can be avoided if you run around the enemy. The music is just as trippy as the story. It's very atmospheric and mostly ambient sounds and slow, moody tracks. The graphics look good for a PS1 game. Backgrounds are pre-rendered, similar to Resident Evil, and the low polygram models make the game look even more surreal. There is some decent voice acting and 3D animated cutscenes that feel like the animators discovered their transition tools for the first time. While being this experimental has created a unique and memorable experience, it also led to a few issues. This may have been a budget title, as there are a lot of reused backgrounds and models. As a result, you'll be doing a lot of backtracking to find that one thing or person that's changed. My biggest complaint, ironically, is also its biggest strength, the story. On one hand, because it was so weird and nonsensical, I couldn't predict where the story was going. For someone who's been playing games as long as I have, it was a nice surprise not being able to see every plot twist a mile away. On the other hand, at times, the story makes no freaking sense, and it's very difficult to follow. If you're the kind of person that likes to analyze and find the symbolism in things, you may enjoy it. Me though, I got lost a good halfway through and just said screw it. I just turned my brain off and enjoyed seeing what crazy thing happened next. The game was not released out west, but there is an English fan translation online. If you want a physical copy, it goes for about $14 to $40 on eBay. Overall, I had a good time with Planet Laika. The story made absolutely no freaking sense, but it was an interesting ride and made me want to see what happened next. The characters were memorable and the combat system, while a bit flawed, was still fun and unique. Now, this game, once again, is very freaking weird and may not be for everyone. But if you like these artsy, surreal media or just looking for a unique PS1 game, you may enjoy this crazy ride. This has been Mega Blade J. As of this video, I have finally reached 1,000 subscribers. Took a while, but I'm finally there. All thanks to you guys. Thank you. If you enjoyed the review, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel for more reviews, playthroughs, and my poor attempts of entertaining you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next mission. Bye.